Ladies and gentlemen, next one is make customers your partners and win twice. First person I would like to invite here on the stage is Mr. Vytenis Pavalkis. Hello, Vytenis, CEO, co-founder of Paysolut. And also with him, Mr. Alex Gibb, co-founder of Paysolut. Hello, sir.
Hi there.
Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready. Give a big round of applause. Make some noise to them. Come on. All right. If you guys ready, good luck.
Thank you. We love the basketball-style welcome. I think your name suited more to the basketball-style welcome. But nice to be here. Nice to see you all.
Nice to be here. Actually, after half a year in a bunker.
We were just saying as we were having lunch outside that it was a strange feeling to be seeing humans again, and many humans, and humans sitting around on beanbags and enjoying it. So really cool to be here.
Yeah, and actually, you know, as business success so much depends on conversations, like great conversations, funny conversations, difficult and even more difficult. So we decided to do that as a conversation so that we can kind of go through our previous conversations during the journey together, share some insights from those, and also keep you in that conversation so that maybe you can also learn something from our mistakes and successes. Yeah.
Definitely, and it would be really interesting. I mean, at least for the people who are here live, it would be good for us to understand kind of, you know, who you are. So maybe we can just do a quick show of hands so we can understand, are you working with startups? Are you in a startup? Are you in a new startup? Are you an investor? Are you something else? So maybe just a quick show of hands. Hands up here if you already work in a startup. Okay, a couple of hands on that side, great. Put your hand up if you're thinking about a new startup. Okay, good. Some more as well, about the same number. Good to see Yeva doing that as well. Great. And anyone else, other investors or yep, investors at the back, and maybe academics or someone else who's just kind of curious. Okay, so that gives us a good feel. So we're probably talking to the right audience then with the startups, and it's been an exciting journey for us over the last couple of years. And as Vytenis said, we hope that you can take something away from this, of the mistakes that we've made, the successes that we've had, and you can copy them too.
Right. So maybe you're wondering who we are. So we are Paysolut. We are two of the 4 founders who founded this company early 2017. And Paysolut is serving financial institutions by providing them the core system to run the business on. So basically, if there is a company who wants to start bank accounts, payments business, and then expand from there to maybe a specialized bank eventually, then we start with such company our journey together from the early stage where we just apply for the financial institution license at the central bank, not only Lithuania, but now in many countries in the EU. So we help customers in multiple countries already. And then once they get this license, we provide the technology. And what we aimed to do from the very beginning, that was part of the vision, that we wanted to give not only the technology that we build, but also bring together the best solutions from the market, our partners, other fintechs, integrate them into our system so that this new financial institution aiming at expanding financial services, bringing them to more people, that it would benefit from having everything kind of in a marketplace, like where just go and get not only Paysolut, but multiple partners on which you depend on your journey as financial service provider, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the other founders, so it's me, Alex, we have Aurimas Bakas and Andris Minkevičius. So it was the 4 of us who started Paysolut at the beginning of the journey. And as Vytenis was saying about who we're trying to serve and what value we're adding, it's probably also worth sharing our slogan from the very day one. And this was really, I think, pretty ambitious, but this really worked out for us. And we came up with the tagline of serving future unicorns. So we believe that by going out and helping these companies like electronic money institutions or payment institutions and specialized banks, that one day they would become unicorns themselves, and as it happened, several of our clients are unicorns. We've got, I think, four unicorns now in the portfolio. So this was really something about setting your ambitions high and really exciting from the start. So this was a nice beginning of the journey. And then we started Paysolut in Rocket. So I don't know how many of you know Rocket, the co-working space? Yeah, we got some hands up there.
Big applause for them.
Big applause to Rocket. So we give lots of credit to Rocket for setting up there, creating the conditions. And we have some nice experiences in room 1.4. So room 1.4 was where Paysolut was created. So if you get a chance to go to Rocket, make sure you go and do some brainstorming in room 1.4. And that's our lucky room.
Yeah. So you may wonder how it all started and where the idea comes from. So we are all from fintech in one way or the other, from the major banks as well. We went through multiple core banking implementations or generally management in the banks, and we saw that those high street banks, they struggle with replacing their core systems or launching the new core system because they have so many different vendors that they have to manage by themselves, right? And we also felt that, I mean, this wave of smaller institutions is coming with also big help from the Bank of Lithuania, big support, and because of the central link system as well. And then we kind of thought that, yeah, we can capitalize on that experience in our previous roles, jobs, and try to offer to the market something which is smaller, more agile, that could grow together with the customer's needs. And I think that's, I mean, as we do that as a conversation, right, and try to pick the best parts of it from our previous year's conversations. So one of the things that we would suggest really to startups is to really listen to their customers and be humble and learn from them. Because this is your, like, the primary gateway to the market needs, and there are like a bunch of lots of ideas, right, just floating around, and so that is why maybe we did not try to close ourselves for a year or two and build a system like in the way we think it's right, but rather we did that together with our first customers, went through hell and high water, lots of emotions and different lessons. But eventually we were able to come with that, what we built, to others and suggest them to also utilize that and also improve by bringing their ideas and their experience from the market.
And I think you've touched on two interesting points there. I mean, one is the ecosystem. So as Vytenis says, the Bank of Lithuania, all of the other ecosystem players, whether it's the startup accelerators, the venture capitalists, other people in the fintech ecosystem, whether it's PR companies, everyone who's doing something good for the Lithuanian tech ecosystem, benefits us all. So I think that's another message to, really contribute where you can, really be involved where you can, and get involved in short. And then the second part is this, this sense of listening to that client, listening to the first client, really trying to build your product according to what they want, or adapting to the market, making sure that you're delivering for them. And I think that's super relevant for anyone who's here. I mean, it's getting that first customer is hard. It took us quite a long time, right? I don't remember how long it was from sort of day one, from sitting in the office and dreaming to actually signing that first customer. Do you remember how long it was exactly on that side?
Well, it's probably also worth mentioning that because we are dealing with selling the system to businesses. As always, the sales cycle is very long, and the first customer, I think it took us maybe half a year to arrange everything with them, agree, discuss, negotiate, align the requirements, and yeah, so it's a long time.
And it's I think we were going to keep the questions to the end, but seeing as the questions are coming in live and they're actually about the things we're talking about, maybe let's bring them in as well. So one of the questions is how to set the right mindset and a strategy to win the customer. And I'm really thinking, this is very much, I think, what Vytenis was saying about being open-minded, listening to the customer, understanding what are their real needs, what are their pain points, and then trying to design something that really fits that, right?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that when we started, we could not tell our technology is the best in the market. Yeah, for sure. But it's, I think, when you think about financial institution life cycle, right? So it's so much effort goes into getting the license, getting the capital, investors, like persuading your first customers as an institution, so I mean persons and businesses to move maybe from other old banks, to your institution, and then, it's the system which helps you with that. So, and you know that maybe it's not right at this point, but you as a financial institution, probably you make a decision by investing your trust into the guys who are behind the system. So the mindset is all about like radiating that belief in the financial institution, your customer's business, and we really like really want to be part of that business success, because we wish great success to all our customers, and we look at that journey with them together as a long-term journey, and that is probably the reason why, for example, we in our agreements, right, we do not have at all any set periods for how long you should be with us. Like, it's one of the. It's maybe a small difference, but we do not set any terms for how long you should use our system as a financial institution. Basically, you can get out from that any time, and by this we show the trust that you do not earn the emotion to stay together because of some legal conditions, but because of you always have this care and care about your customer success, right?
And believing in each other and working together and keeping that close from there. Yeah. Another question's come in terms of asking how to follow up with clients without being annoying, and I think this is also the same thing. When very often when we go to clients in general, it's all about how can I sell what I've got? How can I tell people about me? And really the whole mindset shift there is turn it around and make it about you, the client, and make the conversation about them. So again, asking the right questions, digging into the pain. Where is the pain? How do you know it exists? How do you measure it? How do you quantify it? and really going deep at that level. And that's where the customer really feels that you're talking about them, and then much more naturally you're actually coming to helping find a solution to what they need. So I think that's a really important part of following up with clients, but really making sure that the discussion, the conversation is about them, not about you and your product as well.
And there are no annoying customers. There are customers who come with their own experiences in life, and they do business, which we do for the reason, and they build business on their previous experience. So once you understand the reason, we are more demanding in certain aspects, you can have these conversations at a more productive level, I think.
Sure. And then going back to our experience of starting with that first customer, moving forward, having getting the founders together, brainstorming, trying to think how we're going to go together. Again, this is a message for anyone in startups in the audience. We did this bootstrapped. This was a totally bootstrapped startup where it was primarily time, a little bit of cash to get things going. But this is the way we were able to really build the business, and then building the business by revenue from clients, not just by fundraising and doing that externally. So I think this message about bootstrapping, this is really giving hope to all of us for our next startups, for whatever happens. Bootstrapping really works, and be ambitious with the vision and keep it going, and we believe you'll get there sooner or later.
Speaking about that bootstrapping, I think when you consider as a startup, of course, going agile with your product development, and you think about the product as a final one, which you will eventually sell to somebody. Yeah. So our experience is that we we are building this final product, which is like a huge system, but along the way, we ended up with a certain part of that system that actually could work as a separate product. And while continuing building that system as a main one in parallel, we started to sell this one component as a standalone solution. And this is how we managed to get additional funding for our general system development. Haven't we just continued aiming for that 100%, which is final definition of done, right? We would have probably not been here today. So
totally, yeah. And another question's come in terms of how did you get your first customer? And you've talked a lot about the mindset and how did we approach and how do we work with the customers and deal with them. I think it's probably also worth sharing that our business model, once we'd got the first couple of customers, was really focused on outbound sales. So, right, I mean, the business scaled and grew based on outbound, on actually reaching out and going proactively to the market. But in the very early days, it was networking, it was connecting, it was inquiries, it was anything else to add on that first customer. That was...
Yeah, so actually, one of our first customers we met in the Rocket workspace. So there are lots of, as a fintech hub, so obviously you have a lot of interests and also events going on, and you meet a lot of people there.
Actually, I remember we were here standing, and we had a stand here at...
Login, I think.
Was it Login? No, it wasn't. Was it Login? But it was, anyway, it was here. It was right outside here. We had a tent here maybe 3 years ago, or even 4 years ago. And
4 years ago.
So yeah. So again, we can say this is a lucky place and a good place to start. But all of these parts of the ecosystem where you have a chance to interact and network and meet potential clients, partners, and so on. I think this is a really valuable part of what's happening in Lithuania right now.
Yeah. And actually, at the very beginning, we were running on that inbound sales pipeline, we could say. We were not doing any advertising. We were not proactively offering our services somewhere, except maybe in some events. So we were getting lots of emails, and here we come to this story about SumUp, whose part we are now. Paysolut is part of a SumUp group. And we got an email from them asking for advice, actually, to integrate to Centralink services of the Bank of Lithuania for SEPA payments. And
that was a nice email to receive, right?
Yeah, it was a nice email, and we just got, whoa, it's a very high-profile customer. How could they find us? So they find us in the usual way. You know, just we know the companies around. They maybe Googled on this SEPA keyword and so on and so forth, Centralink, and well, the approach initially was very simple. Like we do everything in house. We do not usually buy the systems from outside, but if you would help us to understand how to integrate, we would be very happy. And then we actually started with them not by actively selling our product, but we said, okay, I mean, cool, you are a nice company. We can learn something from you probably, and it would be good to visit and share experiences. So we're just very open with them at what stage we are at that point, and then also explaining how Centralink works, sharing all our experience of integrating to SEPA schemas. And then through those conversations, we eventually reached the point where SumUp considered that, well, maybe we felt we are kind of part of the team even then, right? And we were privileged to do that integration, to offer our product to them, and it slowly started getting volumes, and yeah, and it's now more than 2 years when we are together, firstly as a vendor and a customer, and now as part of the same team.
Absolutely. And there's another question coming in, which kind of links back to the bootstrapping, but also about thinking about what SumUp first wanted when they came to us as a customer, and really this sort of what are the tips? Is it okay to yield to the customer for more features, or how do we do that? And I think one of the key principles that we've always worked by, which again is really worth sharing here, is that we've always said we will only sell existing products to new customers, and new products to existing customers. So once we were first on the path and moving, and we saw that there was that initial traction, this was a really important point to stay focused. So a new client comes in and says, hey, we want something like this, then unless they're taking something of the existing portfolio, then it's really not a good way to focus when you're bootstrapping and moving forward there. So we really try to convert customers on our existing products and services, and then once they were our customers, we could then move on and sell new products and services to them as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think we spent we spent so much time on this conversation here today, and it's really a high time to speak about the team. So we've been always prioritizing the team, and during bootstrapping as well, and we just know that you can achieve great things when you give loud voices to people whom you attract to join you on that journey. And growing from 4-people company to 74, right, still keeps in our DNA this belief that like everyone has to have the loud voice, as loud as everyone else, and we really believe surrounding ourselves with people who can critique you. So, I mean, startups, like, hire people, invite partners who can really constructively disagree with you, do not hire people who always say yes. So we are very happy that we have such brilliant, smart team who always tells us what's wrong, and not only tells us what's wrong, but also tries to fix that together, and really owns those problems and the system itself that we are building together, right?
And again, this is a great message for the audience, online as well. We're continuing to hire. We're always looking for great talents. Vytenis has talked about the kind of culture that we've built inside the company, and what level of trust people have, what level of freedom, what level of say that they have. But also, this unique opportunity to grow with us and our tight-knit team, which, as well as being a local, successful fintech locally, is also part of an international group, which is, a large, successful fintech on its own as well. So I think that's really our message as well on that side to attract. I'm conscious of the time. We've got less than 5 minutes left, and just thinking maybe we can say a few words about the investment round, talking through sort of less than 2 years ago when we raised money, and then actually getting towards closing the deal and that start. So, we raised money for the first time summer 2019, right? So less than 2 years ago, with a couple of angels in Lithuania, also with 2 VCs, so 70V and Open Circle Capital. That was an exciting time because we were still at that stage, as Vytenis said, small team looking to grow, more customers in the pipeline, but still this fear of bootstrapping, of not having, would we have enough money at the end of the month to pay salaries? These were all the real emotions we were going through at that time, and probably some of you have felt like that as well. And then we closed an investment round that really supercharged our growth. We got a lot of new customers. We grew from there. And then it was sort of less than a year later, we were going towards a bridge round before Series A, and we had a discussion. And I remember sitting in the room with Orimus at that time. Vytenis was on holiday. But maybe that's another story if we get time to tell that one. But I remember them saying on the phone, actually, we would like to buy you, 100%. And that sort of smile creeps over your face, and it's like, wow, this is a really exciting opportunity. And then the negotiation process went on from there. So that was a pretty wild ride, going from bootstrapping to fundraising to supercharged growth, and then having the offer to be bought out and becoming part of the bigger team.
Maybe you have some questions to answer in the remaining 3 minutes.
No more questions. So maybe we can talk more about then the actual the exit and going through that phase. I mean, as when you see these things happening to other people, it always feels a little bit detached. But from my own experience of going through 6 months pretty intensive negotiations to find an agreement, I would say that it was actually a fantastic experience, both as a learning experience of negotiating an exit, but also it was a really professional, but really an atmosphere of high trust, of confidence with both sides, with the lawyers in that whole process, and that was something I love to repeat and look forward to doing that again. But then it actually came to the moment when we closed, right? And maybe we can share a little bit about the emotions of closing. I think there are plenty of times on the journey where you think, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? Will we get there? And then when the final signatures are on the paper, it's a pretty special moment.
But I think if you will encounter a similar situations in your startup life, you should plan this as a really detailed project because there are so many dependencies and things that can go south at some point, especially from the legal perspective and GDPR.
Yeah, take care of GDPR from day one, please, all of you.
Yeah, actually, that's a good takeaway. So,
yeah.
So if you are dealing with actually any sector, I mean, take good lawyers and we can recommend, right? and fix that from the early days so that you are more secure in the future. So yeah, and probably it's worth saying. I mean, it's there is this buzzword, an exit, right? But actually, there is no exit for us. We continue being part of the Paysolut and now SumUp as well. And what's exciting for our team is actually that over the night they became members of a team, not only from the local Lithuanian-born startup, but they were born into the team of like 30 plus countries and over 2,000 people all over the world. So it opens for them, and I'm really excited about that, the broad opportunities to grow and to look for different career paths. Yeah, it's a change that really affected everyone in the company in a positive way.
Absolutely. And as we said, we're hiring, we're looking for talent all the time. So if this has been interesting for you, then please get in touch and look out for what we're doing. But I think our time is up. So thank you very much for listening. Thanks for being here today, and appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Vytenis. It was a big pleasure to have you here on the stage. Thank you. Thank you so much.